Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D Wayne bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be doing with you guys today is bringing you my updated Shiranui Zombie deck. Now this is going to be post Code of the Duelist, of course, featuring the Vendread support. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this. This is actually pretty good stuff. You know, I've been loving zombies for quite some time, and I'm glad they've got a new archetype to support the type. So basically, before that being said, let's just get straight into it and not waste any more time. Alright guys, we're going to start off with the monsters, of course. Alright, first we have three of the new ritual monster, which is Vendread Slayer. It's a pretty decent ritual monster. Stat lines is level 6. 2400 attack, 0 defense, which is perfect for a zombie archetype. So yeah, so let's get into the effects. First of all, once per battle, during either player's turn, of course, when he battles a monster, he can banish a zombie type monster from your graveyard, and this card gains 300 attack. The second effect is when this ritual summon card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one ritual spell card from your deck to your hand, and if you do that, send one Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard. So basically, if you guys want to really, get in depth really with this card, you can head back to my Vendread discussion video, and I get more into detail about these cards. So other than that, it's pretty good and sets up for a lot of good plays for the deck. So yeah. Next we have Vendread Revenants. So these basically have two effects. His first effect is when he's destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect, you can special summon it from the graveyard or banish it when it leaves the field. And the Revenant monsters also have the ability to give the Vendread ritual monsters special abilities when used as a tribute for the ritual summoning of those cards. So this one in specific gives the ability to target a special summon monster your opponent controls and banish it. So this is also a quick effect that can be done during either player's turn, which is pretty good. Next we have two Vendread houndhordes. Basically his effects are, while it's in the graveyard, you can discard a Vendread card to special summon it from the graveyard, and its ability that it gives to the ritual monsters is that it can target one spell and trap card your opponent controls and banish it. Also a quick effect, of course. So there are a lot of different ways to occur your zombies, from the graveyard or anywhere. So this deck is, very versatile and special summoning monsters to establish your presence. So this is really good. Next we have three Gozukis, of course. One of the best cards to come out recently for zombies ever. So, do I really need to discuss it? No, I will not discuss it, so you guys already know what Gozuki does. Alright, then we have his brother, Mezuki, which obviously special summons your zombies from the graveyard, of course, staple in all zombie decks. 3 unit zombies, of course, going with your Mezukis to do your shenanigans from there. Another staple. I run one zombie master because I feel like he's going to be important, especially with the way this deck functions, getting stuff to the graveyard very quickly. So his effect will actually be live just a little bit more often than it should. Obviously, opening hand, it's not live. You have to wait till at least like turn 2, turn 3 in order to really get real use out of this card. So yeah, still a pretty good card, but yeah, you guys know. And last we have the Shiranui engine, of course. 3 Sage, 2 Spirit Master, and 1 Spectral Sword. Fortunately, I had to drop it down to this small of an engine because Shiranuis aren't really the focus of the deck too much. It's definitely there to help. Because a ritual banishes to, gain 300 attack and stuff, so it can banish the Sage, especially summon the Spirit Master, and, or if you have a Spectral Sword that's already banished, banish the Sage, special summon the Spectral, and you know, go for your plays from there. So yeah, guys. Alright, so that is it for the monsters. We're going to go into the spells. First, you have one pot of avidity. This one is a quick play spell that gets your banished monsters back into the deck to draw 1 cards. And obviously, well, it can be both from you and your opponent's banished piles. As long as they equal out to 3, it should be fine for you to do. Alright, so that's that. 1 Book of Life. This card is a little bit more important considering, you know, link format. I mean, link error and stuff. You would want to have more field presence to set up for link summons in order for you to get into your synchro plays and stuff like that. So I feel like this is necessary for that purpose. 1 Foolish Burial, of course, sends your zombies to the graveyard to set up for further plays. 2 Twin Twisters, obviously for back row heavy decks, Paleozoics, so on and so forth. Pendulums to hit their scales or whatever the case may be. It definitely deals with the back row very well. Plus the discard cost isn't too bad for this deck at all, so it's good to run. 1 Barrier from a different dimension, of course. Put your banished stuff back to the graveyard to set up for further plays. 2 Ghost Stalks, of course, banishing your shiranui stuff to get their desired effects. Spare Master for pop, Sage, special summon for banish. You know, whatever it is you need it for, you have the option to banish and get whatever you need in 2 turns or less. Now we have the Ritual Spell card for our Vendread Slayer. Basically, this card is really solid. So basically what it does is you can tribute monsters from your hand, field, or banish zombie type monsters from your graveyard, and or banish zombie type monsters from your graveyard. So you have, you know, multiple ways of getting monsters to the graveyard in order to set up for ritual summons. And plus it special summons the Vendread ritual monster from either the hand or the graveyard. So that's why it's so important to get, you know, get your Vendread Slayer to the graveyard so that you can get your Vendread Origin to go off to special summon it from said graveyard using materials from hand, field, or banishing zombies from your graveyard in order to summon your stuff out. So yeah, this card is really solid. Alright, and last but not least, we have 3 pre-preparation of rites. You guys already know this can search out your Vendread Origin and Slayer from your deck to your hand. So it's definitely a must to have 3 of this card in your hand so you have instant access to your ritual monster. Alright, so that is that for the spells. We're going to go into the traps now. Alright, first we have our Lost Wind. This is another repeat from my last deck profile video. I'm still running this as I feel it definitely has some importance now, even more now than before, because we are in Link era. You know, all of their monsters are special summons, so this will definitely hit their monsters, negating their effects and halving their attack. Since they can't exist in defense mode, that makes them even more vulnerable to this card here. So, really good card, and it has a second use when they summon from the extra deck. And once again, Link monsters summon from the extra deck, so they're guaranteed to get a second use out of this card. So, yeah, really good. I'll run back to the front lines. 1. Basically, special summons a monster from your graveyard in defense position. Obviously, this is unlike Call of the Haunted, where, you know, it special summons in attack mode and the Call of the Haunted is attached to the monster. This, you don't have to worry about your monster being attached to it and being hit with removal and stuff like that, because it's a normal chainable trap. So, really good indeed. 2 Heavy Dust Storms. Basically a free Twin Twister with no discard cost. Obviously, you lose your battle phase the turn you activate this card. But of course, if you're activating this on your opponent's turn to hit their back row, you won't have to worry about losing your battle phase. So yeah, this is really solid card. On one Shiranui style Samsara, the ritual has 0 defense, so you can actually shuffle it back into the deck with this card if you happen to banish it for whatever reason. Like for, to activate another copy of the ritual on field to banish during the battle phase, or whatever case may be, you have to banish it, you just put it right back into the deck. Alright, so I'll keep going around for that purpose. 2 Shiranui style Swallow Slash. Now I reduced this to 2. I thought I would never have to do that, but since I kind of, miniaturized the Shiranui engine, felt there was no need to, have 3, so I just basically cut it down by 1 and have 2. So you guys should already have an idea of what this does, of course. Alright, last trap card, we have Recall. So this works in a similar fashion to Lost Wind, but, except it negates and destroys the monster, and your opponent gets to draw 1 card. So basically it's just more monster negation. And unfortunately, this gives your opponent a card, but it acts as the Dark Bribe version for monster effects, which is still really good. Monster effects is so important right now, so the more monster negation you have, the better your chances are of winning. So yeah, so that's that. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. We're going to go into the extra deck. Alright, 1 Shiranui Sunsaga. I had 2 in my last profile, so I just kind of reduced it to 1 because, it's not entirely necessary for 2. So if you guys don't know what it does, it when special summon, it places your banished zombie synchros back into the deck and you get to destroy that many cards. And the second ability allows you to protect your zombies from being destroyed by battle or card effect by banishing a Shiranui monster from your graveyard. So still really solid. The 3-card Shiranui combo still exists in the deck where you can summon this out and have 2 materials, so it still has a use. Two shogunsaga, of course, still a really solid card for a level 8 zombie synchro. Powers up when special summoned by banishing your zombies from the graveyard and negates the attack. And when destroyed by battle or card effect, you can put a 0 defense zombie back into the graveyard. So still really solid card. The 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, of course, card is still amazing. It's already been reprinted, so it should be cheaper to come by. But I felt I don't have a real need for that because this is still the original pack for the card, so there's no need for me to buy any reprints or anything. It's still really solid. This is a Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Actually, this card is actually better now in Link Format 2 because, once again, the Link monsters cannot exist in defense position. So you can use this effect to clear out the Link monsters and inflict 500 damage for each. So this card is really good. Double Omega, of course. Omega is Omega. You guys already know. The 1 Black Rose. Black Rose is Black Rose. The 1 Clear Wing. Negating monster effects when targeting level 5 or higher. And with a level 5 or higher monster activates effect, you can negate it as well. And the effect negates, the monster it destroys, gains its attack until the end phase of the turn. Still pretty solid. Archfiend Zombie Skull, of course, can be summoned off the spectralsword's effect. 1 Stardust Charge Warrior still allows you to get that draw power when synchro summoned, and the ability to attack all monsters special summon monsters your opponent controls. Is still pretty decent for draw. And last but not least, 1 Samuraisaga, of course. So yeah, guys. That is the deck profile. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, of course. So yeah, I will leave that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime. But until then, peace, YouTube.